haven't we? Yeah, yeah. And yes, we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going, okay? Don't give up on this little church. There's a lot more minutes.
How you doing, Doug?
Doing good. There you go.
You worked hard on that. Turn around, Doug.
You're the culprit.
Hey.
I remember the first time, or one of the first times we met Pastor Jennifer. We were at the hospital waiting for Steve's hip replacement surgery, and we were the first surgery of the morning, so it was very, very early. And we're waiting for the prep, and in walks our new pastor, Pastor Jennifer. And the two of us look at each other. We're like, And she sits down, and we talk, and we laugh, and we tell stories, and explain why actually a hip replacement didn't concern us in the least, and why we weren't worried, but we were, so happy that she was there. And anyway, we had a lovely time, laughing, joking, just had a really great visit. And at about the end of an hour or so, Pastor Jennifer looks at us and she's like, well, I guess you really didn't need me here today. And we laughed, and we were like, no, this is kind of like water off our backs. No, we didn't, but we were so glad you came. And I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, no, in fact, I think we did need her there. And maybe it wasn't about that day, but it was about establishing the foundations, not just of trust and faith in our new pastor, but also the foundation of a friendship, and something that was really important, quite frankly, not for that day, but for all the things that came after it. To say Pastor Jennifer was not busy or kept busy by the Furman household would be a real understatement, because we definitely, between all the illnesses and funerals alone, kept her very much on her pastoral toes. I'm convinced to this day I never would have survived Steve's funeral without her. With that said, we'll hate to see her go. It's been an honor and a privilege to have her as our pastor, but even more so to be our friend Jennifer, because she was our pastor for 15 years, but I really hope she's a friend for life. Best of luck. We know that you're going to be fantastic at whatever new ministry you pick up, and we'll be there with you in any way we can, supporting whatever new mission ends up being your next calling. All the best. Love, Amy, Ian, Steve, Sarah, Melanie, and the rest of the Furman household. Love you.
Well, Pastor Jen, we come to that unhappy moment that I guess all of us wish would never happen, but knew would. The point where we have to say goodbye, and saying goodbye is sad indeed. I've known you, I think, 10 years, since I was a candidate for ministry as a local pastor, and you were involved with the District Commission on Ministry. And I have to say, from the very beginning, one of the first things that attracted me to you is your genuineness, your personal honesty, your good nature, your lack of artifice. You never seemed to have a hidden motive to what you were doing. You were just genuinely who you are, like you were comfortable with yourself. And I think that's an incredible gift. And I also think it's something that Jesus wants of us. If you remember when he called Nathanael in the second chapter of John's Gospel, actually John 1:47, the first chapter, he said, "Behold an Israelite indeed, in whom there is no guile." And you're a person that has no guile, and I admire that honesty about you. When I had to resign from Christ and Cedars because of financial reasons, it took me a long time to get back to attending church. I felt hurt, angry, dejected, because although my ministry seemed to be progressing, the DS had no solution to my income problems. But when I did wander back, I kind of knew it was going to be to your church and to your ministry because I had such admiration for you as a person and as a spiritual leader. My best religious experiences have always been at a small church. The one I grew up in out in the country in Bucks County, at Cedars, and with you at Mount Lebanon. Allow me to share some insights I've gained over these 70 years, since you're far younger and you have time to be able to accumulate them. When I was teaching in seminary, I remember the New Testament professor telling the fresh-faced graduates, the greatest gift you have to give your parishioners is your spirituality. People, I believe, come to a church seeking spirituality that they don't yet have but want. And sometimes they don't even know that's what they want, but I really truly believe that's it. I think they're attracted to the pastor for the very same reason. Spirituality is something that we can sense in our pastor, or sense is maybe not there the way we want it to be. And that is that the pastor has an inner relationship with God that was created by spending a lot of time in God's presence. I mean, it's really easy, because there's more to do than there is time to get it done, to push aside the prayer, the meditation, the study. It's the way that we refill the spiritual well so that when we go out and do ministry, we can pour out from that well. But we've got to refill it. And if you don't refill it, it runs dry. And I've always admired your personal spirituality. I think those disciplines of prayer, meditation, and study are indeed well served by you and your preparation for church and for being with us. I think next, I always admire the fact that you have the heart of a servant. You're always asking, how can I serve Christ by serving his flock? And not just our church, but the community and the world in general. As we know, it says in a few places, the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve. So I always admired how you were trying to live the heart of a servant in all the ministries that you participated in over the years. I mean, for such a small church, there's an awful lot of servant ministry going on. And that ties into another point that I always admired, and that is your concern with social justice. That's also such a big part of our tradition, from the prophets of the Old Testament through to Jesus, through to John Wesley. Is it, how do we live the gospel out and really make this world more Christ-like, make it more like what the kingdom of God is supposed to be? And you constantly do that. There's a line I always liked in 2 Peter that I could never quite get straight, but I wrote it down here so I won't have to mess it up. Peter says, for this reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness knowledge, and to knowledge self-control, and to self-control perseverance, and to perseverance godliness. I'll just focus on perseverance. I always admired that about you as well. You never stop trying. And I know firsthand it can be really, really personally discouraging when you put together a special service or sermon or program or something and attendance actually drops that week. Or you look at 2 to 3 weeks when things seem to be going really well and saying, maybe we finally turned the corner, only to turn the corner and run into something happening the next week, like people don't show up. So perseverance is a really key thing, and I admired that about you. You never stop trying. It's hard to be chipper in all of those circumstances, but it always seemed to be a part of who you were, and I admired that. So let me close by saying life is a journey. You and I have completed a small part of it alone, but I think all of us want to stay here where we are. We are probably having a tendency to stay and relive those years together with you. And of course, that's not fair to the new pastor, and it's also decidedly not what God wants from us. After the transfiguration, Peter, James, and John didn't want to go back from the mountain. They wanted to stay up there, build tabernacles, and relive that incredible spiritual experience. But Jesus led them back down the mountain to the multitude that was waiting. And after the ascension, the disciples are sitting there staring up into the sky, and an angel comes by and says, "Men of Galilee, why are you standing looking up into heaven?" But the point is that, we live on earth, and we have the Great Commission, and we've had, the experience of Jesus, we've had the experience of you, and so on, and we need to move on as you need to move on, so that we can be doing ministry and remembering all you've taught us and all the good experiences we've had with you, but still moving on, moving forward, so that one day you can be proud of us and what we do, and so that we can be happy with all we've learned from you, so that we can one day meet up and say, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant." So let me close by saying blessings to you and to your family, and I know you'll enjoy the next part of your life. I truly love retirement. It's a great opportunity to do all the things you wanted to do and never had the time to. So God bless you always, and again, please do stay in touch.
Hi, Pastor Jennifer. We want to say thank you for all the guidance and support you've given us over the years, and inspiring us to come to church and hear your messages and interpretations of the Bible and Scripture. As a parent, I'm just thankful for all the moral compass you provided for my kids, my family, myself. I will miss your friendship for a year, hopefully not longer. And so we love you.
Thank you for all you've done. We're very grateful for everything, and we wish you the best as you embark on this very special next chapter of your life. Enjoy retirement.
Thank you so much for being a big impact in my life. You're a really big role model that I look up to, and we're definitely going to miss you.
Thank you for making me a bigger person as I am now, and showing me to think different about things and taking a different angle on things. And just thank you for being a person to talk to.
We love you.
Bye.
Take care.
Pastor Jennifer, I can't say enough how lucky I am to have had you in my life, how happy I am, as much as it makes me sad, how happy I am for you that you are moving on to a new chapter, and how thankful I am for all that you've taught me. You are the pastor who brought me back to church, and the only pastor I've had since then. So I look forward to seeing all the amazing things you continue to do, and thank you very much for showing me God's love and grace and mercy. And I love you, and I miss you already. Congratulations.
Hey Jennifer, wishing you all the best for your upcoming retirement. I'm sure all the members in the congregation is going to miss you, but on the other hand, we all are going to be happy for you that you can do whatever you want, and when you don't have time to do it, but now it's a change, and wish you the best. And also we are going to be grannies, and I'm sure we will be exchanging baby's pictures later of the year. Again, congratulations on your retirement. Wish you the best.
Hi Jennifer, this is Joe. Congratulations on your retirement. You have spent so many years working so hard, so it's time to relax and take it easy for a change. Just like me. Alright, so best wishes to you on your retirement. Enjoy. Bye.